wants to see Gojo from another universe and Levi from another universe be witches in this spectacular magical universe? Hello everyone, and welcome back to another recommendation that I have for you. This time it's a manga story, and it's one of my favorite mangas, I have to tell you. This time it's about a story called Hat Atelier by Kamome Shirahama. It's such a wonderful story that I do want to recommend it to you, and I'm just gonna talk a little bit about what it's about, and then I'll get to how the pacing is, how the art is, how the characters and story is, and overall my review on it. So let's get started. Hat Atelier starts in this magical fantasy world where there are witches that know magic, and there's the normal humans. The story takes us through the point of view of this girl called Coco, who is the main character, and she is fascinated by everything that has to do with magic. She thinks it's fascinating. She loves when the people that are called witches here do magic, and she's heard about it and all. And her mom runs a shop, a clothing shop. Coco helps her mom around in the workshop, and witches and humans alike come to the shop to buy more clothing or buy new sets of silk or cloth. And here we get our first glimpse at who Qifrey, one of our main characters, is, aka Gojo. And he's just here in the shop as a normal customer. There's also 3 women that are shopping for clothes, and apparently the carriage, Pegasus carriage that they came in, just breaks down because of a couple kids making trouble. So Qifrey is there to help, and he says, I'm actually a witch, but I need a place apart by myself where I can do my magic and fix the Pegasus carriage, which was created using magic as well. Once he says that, Coco was like, yeah, you can do it in our workshop. You can just do it here. And he's like, okay, but you guard the door and don't let anyone in. But of course, curiosity kills the cat, and she ends up climbing the roof with a couple other kids. But she was the only one that was able to peek inside of what Qifrey was actually doing inside. And she actually saw that he was drawing some sigils. And she was like, is that how magic functions? It's just drawing? This takes me back to when she was little. In a flashback, she shows us how she bought a picturesque book that showed her about magic from someone that her mom didn't really see. Some mysterious person in what looked like to be a witch hat sells her this picture book, as well as a free pen that came with it, and ink as well, because why not? But now she found out that magic could be drawn through Qifrey. Qifrey just actually showed her without him noticing. He says, oh, Pegasus carriage is already fixed, so I'll take my leave. And Coco does mention her picture book to him and how she is fascinated by magic. That kind of bothers him. It's like, oh, a picture book that shows sigils of magic? Okay. But he doesn't really think about it twice and just goes away on his way. And then that night, Coco decides to just imitate some of the sigil circles that she found in her picture book, and she was able to do a little bit of magic, not as powerful as the magic that she's seen other witches do, or at least Qifrey do. Something is something. And then she realizes that the neater you do a spell, the better it will be, the longer it will last and everything. And she was like, how can I make my sigils better? You know what? I'll just trace it. I'll just put a paper over the picture book and just trace this next sigil that I'm gonna do. So that's exactly what she does. And the next thing that you see once she finishes it is that Qifrey, out of a sudden, just comes out of nowhere and grabs her as an explosion happens. And she's like, wait, but mom is still in there in the workshop. Like, you can't just take me and not take mom, you know? And then she sees her mom from afar, from where Qifrey is holding her. He's levitating. It looks like he has some type of flying shoes that can help him fly. Then her mom is just shouting her name, like, Coco, where are you? And then there comes this gigantic thing from the ground that looks kind of like crystals coming up from the ground and just encapsulating her mom. And basically her mom turns into stone. And then you see Qifrey freaking out, asking Coco, like, what did she do? What sigil did she drew? because he can probably save her mom by reversing the spell. And she's like, I don't know, the picture book was in the house, but if I get to see the sigil again, I'll probably remember, but we have to save mom. And he was like, you do know that I would have to erase your memories because you saw and you know that you can draw. By just drawing, you can do magic. He's still wondering about the picture book, saying that it might lead him to somewhere that he was actually looking for. So he doesn't erase her memories, and what he tells her is that from that day on, she will be under his wing as a witch apprentice. She will become a witch. And humans aren't supposed to be witches. Witches are supposed to be born as witches, which is kind of the problem here of Coco knowing, but Qifrey still decides to teach her the ways of being a witch. And that's how chapter 1 ends. That's how the story continues. Qifrey basically brings her to his atelier, and he is their main professor. He has 3 other students, and we're going to talk about them soon. And he also has a helper as well in his atelier. So in terms of pacing, I really like the pacing. It doesn't feel too fast, and it doesn't feel like it's going too slow. I do feel like it's just right. I love seeing how the students, the apprentices, learn magic bit by bit. I love seeing the main character's progression in a realistic way of how she learns how to draw better and how she learns how to draw magic along with the other apprentices. And there's also action, and there's also other points of view that you get to see with other higher ranked witches and other humans in the story as well. So pacing is just right. In terms of the art, I mean, just look at this colorful, beautiful art. I don't know if you can see it right there. I mean, here's 1, here's 2. I don't have the first few volumes. I do have them somewhere, but I can't figure out where they are. But here are some of the volumes that I have, and they look so colorful. And I mean, the inside as well, the black and white art is truly amazing as well. So 10 out of 10 with the art, or 5 out of 5. Talking about main characters, we have Coco as the main character, then Tetia, Agate, Riche, Qifrey, and old Rugio. So Coco, as I said, she's the main character, and she's just a doll. She's so like full of this innocence and wonder of magic that she just wants to learn from this whole different world she wants to belong in, because she just wants to make magic to make people happy and feel what she feels as well. That wonder that she sees for magic. So I love her. So the other 3 apprentices, there's always a trope in anime where there's always like a bubbly character. There's always a tsundere, who is a more serious character that doesn't really let their emotions shine a lot. And there's always the quiet type of character. So those 3 stereotypes or tropes, you'll find them in these 3 characters. So Tetia is the very bubbly character. She is the closest one to Coco at first. She is excited to show Coco around and everything, and she's just great. She's just bubbly. Agate is another one of the apprentices. She's the tsundere type of character, and she is very focused on her studies, and it takes a bit of time for Coco and her to warm up to each other, but she's always there trying to help if she is needed. Riche is the quiet one, although she is stubborn too, because she usually doesn't want to study the normal type of magic that everyone is studying. She just wants to do her own type of magic and bring out the best magic that she has from herself, through herself, the way she invents it. So she is stubborn in a way, but it's nice to see that part of herself. And she also joins in to help when she can, but she usually just stays to herself most of the time. And there's Qifrey, aka Gojo from another universe. He is just great. He's just a very outgoing person. He's very kind, very warm-hearted to his apprentices. He teaches them all that he can, but there is a mysterious part of what is he thinking, like what is he trying to achieve, what are his goals. So you get to know his goals or what he's searching for throughout the story. I haven't been caught up yet. I am in volume 6, I believe. of the story right now, so there's still a lot more. I believe there are 13 volumes right now, if I'm not mistaken. I'll double check. And then there's Olrugio, who I call him to be Levi from another universe, and if Levi had a mustache as well. He has that same demeanor as Levi from Attack on Titan. He's kind of like a tsundere as well, but he's just mainly there in the atelier to help Qifrey with whatever he needs. They were childhood friends as well. They've been friends for a long time, so he just helps Qifrey and the apprentices when they need the help with magic learning. I love Olrugio. He's just sometimes a bit lazy as well, but he's there for comic relief too sometimes. And you can definitely notice he really cares for the apprentices and for his friend Qifrey. That's all I have for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. I give this a 5 out of 5. It's difficult for me to not like a story, so I give this a 5 out of 5. Be sure to support Kamome Shirahama, the author, and you can read the first chapter for free from Kodansha USA through their website. Definitely check that out on their website, and I'll be back with you guys for more. And I really hope this does become an anime at some point, because it's gonna be very popular and I'm gonna be the first one to watch it. Thanks guys, see you next time!